Hey guys, welcome to a new video. In this video I'm going to talk about one of the most important things of collecting.
If you want to get to the next level with me, consider subscribing if you already haven't and hit the bell button to get notified when I upload a new video.
One of the most important things when it comes to collecting is focus. Let me tell you a little backstory before I go to my point where I'm going at. So it points out what the importance for me is, and maybe that's how you can find your drive. We had a PC back then at home with, I believe, 2 games that were at least a bit of fun. That was Castle. That was a text-based game with textual characters, but they displayed a room, and there was a knight. I think it's a knight, you couldn't tell from the graphics, and there were monsters, and you have to go to the cellar, and the way you knew that it was a cellar because it said in text on the screen. Or a tower or something. Really easy to get lost in that game because every room looked the same. With just exceptions from a few doors, for example. I still know the hallway. If I see the hallway, I know that's the first point of the game where you come in. I probably will know it. The other game was Lode Runner. Lode Runner, I saw there was a remake on the PlayStation, and I'm trying to get that at my next expo. Lode Runner was a game with graphics. We had a monochrome monitor, so it displayed only yellow and black, black for the background. So it was just one color. It had graphics though. And it was a game about a puppet, your main character, that could walk across the screen and go up a ladder and go up another, and you could dig holes on the left side and on the right side of your character, and the enemies fall into those gaps. Only after 2 seconds or so they climb out, and in hindsight it looked like a platformer, but in hindsight it was more of a puzzle game than a platformer. When I got to school, there was a girl that I liked, and when I got at her home, she and her brother played the NES, and that was it. I was hooked to Super Mario. I thought it was amazing. The graphics, it was color. It was so much better than Lode Runner, which couldn't even jump, and Castle on the PC. It was so much fun. I was hooked at that moment. I was hooked at the NES. They also had Chip and Dale, the Rescue Rangers, which you could throw boxes at enemies. Really fun game. I remember from back in the days. And I remember that at Christmas we got presents, and our parents have a spending limit. And when as a child I was calculating how much my parents had spent and how much and what I still could get for that money. And I know for sure that they had spent all their money on Christmas Eve for the presents for us. But on the first day of Christmas, there was a package under the tree. And after breakfast, we could unwrap it. And that was an NES. We played so much Mario and so much Duck Hunt. And that dog that was laughing if you missed the duck. Yeah, I have fond memories of those times. And a couple of weeks ago, I asked my parents to take a look at their attic if they still have the NES, and we looked for it, but we couldn't find it, regretfully. I hope they didn't sell it at a to the marketplace or secondhand store or so. We didn't know anymore. It was so many years ago. But it was a system for me and my brother, and I wanted to have my own. So I bought the alternative system because then I could play some other games. And that alternative system was the Master System from Sega. And also from that era I have so much fun memories. I bought a Master System 2 with embedded Miracles, Alex Kidd in Miracle World, and Sonic. I played Sonic so much, and I thought it was so much better than Mario. And I bought Sonic 2 because I was hooked to Sonic. Sonic was my favorite thing. I had a cardboard figure of Sonic on my room. I got that from a toy store, which tried to get rid of it. I know that I took it on a bike home, and we lived at least 15 minutes cycling away from the toy store. 15, it wasn't 20 or 25, it was 20 minutes. So I had to cycle, and the wind was blowing at that cardboard thing. And when I got home, and my mother asked me, "What the hell is that? More stuff? Where do I put it?" Typical mother stuff. But Sonic was my hero, and I bought some games for the Master System, and then I saw that the Mega Drive came out. The Mega Drive, the graphics, oh my god, it was so much better than Sonic 1. And I looked at the screen of the game in the toy store, and I was so amazed. The title screen, so much graphics, so much was going on, and the environment looked so much better than the 8-bit system. So I decided to sell my Master System, which I regret until today. To buy a Mega Drive. I bought a Mega Drive with, of course, Sonic 1. That was my main goal. I wanted to have the better looking Sonic 1. I loved the game, but if you ask me which game did I love more, Sonic 1 on the Master System or Sonic 1 on the Mega Drive, Sonic 1 on the Master System, I don't know why. The game was, in my opinion, better. Although Sonic 1 on the Mega Drive looked much better than on the Master System, game-wise it was more fun to me. I have still memories playing my Master System 2 with those the hooky-blocky controllers. I had a couch on in my room, and I have still memories of me playing Sonic on that couch under a blanket, because it was winter, around Christmas time. It was really early in the morning. I got up to play Sonic under my blanket on the couch. And the jungle level, I don't know why, but the jungle level in Sonic 1 on the Master System and the blanket and the couch, that was very fun memory of me. Later I bought the converter, the Master System converter, and I bought back Sonic 1 because I loved that game so much. And that started my gaming addiction. I bought an extension for the Mega Drive, the Mega CD. I had a couple of games on that. And again, I was in Nijmegen, I think. I saw Sonic CD, and it looked so much better than Sonic 1. Oh my god, I know that I was amazed. So I needed to have Sonic 1, and I know that I bought the game without asking my parents. I never got into trouble with that, and I know that my grandparents had to make a little ploy with me to get me the game. Yeah, I had memories, just memories. So coming back to my topic, what I wanted to talk about, focus. I looked at the magazines. I looked at the systems that came out. Sega was my company. They could shit on my head, and I would have taken it. In hindsight, I don't know why I was such a Sega fan. So I followed the 32X. I know that I didn't have money to buy it. I wanted to have it so badly. The Saturn came out, and I wanted to have a Saturn. The Dreamcast came out, and I wanted to have a Dreamcast. But Saturn, Dreamcast, 32X, I couldn't have it. But I looked at the games. So what my main focus is Sega. I want to collect for Sega. My priority first is to get the games that I always wanted to play as a kid. If it is for the Dreamcast, the Master System, the Mega Drive, or the Saturn, I bought a Saturn and a Dreamcast later on just to play Virtua Fighter. But I want to have complete sets, and for the for a couple of systems that's very difficult. I mean, I think that there are about 300 games for the Dreamcast, so that's a bit difficult. The 32X is a bit difficult because there aren't many games out there, and the games that are out there are very high priced. Mega CD also, it's become an obscure system somewhat. If I come across a game, I want to have it, but it needs to be fun to play. I'm not going to spend a lot of money on a game that I don't want to play. Maybe it's it's something else when it comes to a real collector's item, when it's worth a lot of money and I see a deal that I can't pass up for a game that I don't like. For example, there are much shitty full motion video games on the Sega CD. I don't know if I want to break the bank for a shitty game. I think not. Maybe when I want to complete the sets. What I also want to collect for, and that is my main target, besides my other main target, I want to have a complete set of the Master System. The reason why I want to collect for the Master System is that the prices aren't gone really crazy stupid like the NES. And there are only about 130-50 games out there. So it is still possible to have a complete set. Another goal I've set is that I want to have everything in a mint condition. The reason for that is that I'm somewhat of a perfectionist. I'm a stickler for scratches and dirt, and I don't want that. I want to have a pristine condition, also to maybe transfer it later on to my kids, or I don't have any, but maybe in the future. I want to have something, and I want to have games that maybe not fun to play, but that says so much about the time that they came out and are so typical for that time. Those full motion video games are maybe not a lot of fun to play, but they are so typical for the time because Sega wanted to try out new stuff, and you have to give them credit for that. The result is somewhat shitty, but they tried full motion video, and in a time that video wasn't even allowed and was so wow for games, and even on the PC photos and videos were pretty much a no-go, and the Sega CD did it. So that was so much wow factor for the Sega CD back then. In hindsight, they are stupid B-movie-like titles and not really fun to play, but that's a whole other story and a whole other discussion. But they are so defining for that time, and so defining for trying out new stuff. Things like Sylpheed on the Sega CD was real 3D. Real. yeah, it was real 3D. There was somewhat of scaling and somewhat vector-like 3D graphics, 32x the same. And that experiment went out very well because the 3D games of this time are based on that principle. And that is so I want to have those games that are so defining for what they tried and so defining for the time. So it has to preserve history very well. And if you have mint condition and complete games inbox, it's so much fun. And I bought a game that is still in seal. That seal, that Sega seal on the Mega Drive card, that's so defining. When I look in hindsight, I now see that sticker and I know I want to remove it. Just because back in the days I wanted to remove that sticker and play that game as fast as I can, or I could. That sticker is so time defining and so defining for the emotion I had back then that I hope by this way preserving that emotion, because I have so much fond memories of that time. So that is my advice for you when you want to start to collect. What is your main focus? Where do you want to collect for? Because if you want to collect everything, you don't probably have the money. If you want to collect for multiple systems, you have so much choice and so much games to get. There needs to be a definable goal, and there is a definable goal for the Master System. By the way, I also had a Game Gear, and when I have a complete set of the Master System, I will think I will go for the Game Gear. Maybe in a year I will think otherwise, but for now, Master System is my main focus for a complete set. I hope this game video will help you, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you for watching.
That's it already for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I love making these videos for you, but in order to continue to do that, I need your support. You can support me for free just by hitting the thumbs up button, so YouTube will offer my video to more people. It means the world to me. You can also subscribe to my channel if you like and hit the bell button to stay updated. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.